Now, you listen to me, James Hawkins. You got the makings of greatness in you.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're looking at Disney movies that might have performed better if only the mouse gave them a fighting chance.
Won't you get up off the floor and we'll go to work?
Disney's 100th anniversary wasn't exactly the celebration the company envisioned, with most of their new releases underperforming, to put it generously. Although we associate Disney with ongoing success, the brand has never been a stranger to setbacks.
I'm awfully sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you, but you don't know what I've been through.
Following the revelation of Snow White, Disney saw multiple flops. With World War II closing off European markets, Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Bambi had little hope of recouping their high budgets. Even after the war ended, Alice in Wonderland and Sleeping Beauty were too expensive to prove profitable.
But she can help. But just do your best, dear.
It's not as if Disney didn't give those films a fighting chance, however. Even on the heels of financial failure, Disney stood by these future classics, and with subsequent re-releases, each of them became massive moneymakers.
You are sensational.
You mean I'm good?
300. You are colossal.
It was around the time Walt Disney died that the company took a step in the wrong direction, taking fewer risks and cutting corners. The theatrical cut of Bedknobs and Broomsticks is one example.
You're at the age of not believing, and worst of all, you doubt yourself.
Upon release, many felt that the fantasy film lived in the shadow of Mary Poppins. While that was always likely to be the case, the reception might have been warmer had people seen the full film. Almost 21 minutes were removed from the 1971 cut, much to the surprise of star Angela Lansbury.
But where are the other pages?
Haven't the foggiest.
Disney learned the wrong lesson with its 1979 reissue, cutting almost 20 more minutes. Composer Richard M. Sherman was especially frustrated, saying, quote, "They decided to obliterate the picture, and it was so denuded of emotion."
I'm sorry, but there doesn't seem to be much to celebrate.
Much of Bedknobs and Broomsticks has since been restored, which is more than can be said about the Black Cauldron. Jeffrey Katzenberg notoriously cut roughly 12 minutes from the animated feature, viewing some of the content as too dark.
You would think that I was causing World War III there at the studio, because I literally said, well, you know what, you get the film and bring it to an edit bay, and I'm going to show you how you edit an animated movie.
We may never know if those lost minutes would have elevated the picture, but the editing controversy goes to show that Disney had little faith in it. After it opened behind the Care Bears movie, Disney essentially buried Black Cauldron for 12 years until finally giving it a second life on home video. Along with Something Wicked This Way Comes, Return to Oz, and The Watcher in the Woods, the Black Cauldron was a dark 80s experiment that Disney struggled to incorporate into their brand.
I hadn't planned it to end like this, Ilonwi.
Oh, I wish I'd stayed a toad.
The 90s were a sunnier decade, with Disney turning in some of their biggest hits ever. Even at the peak of their power, Disney didn't give every film a chance.
Okay, that's it. I'm out of here. This is ridiculous. You can't leave me here alone. I'm gone. I am gone.
The most unfortunate case is The Rescuers Down Under, which had to compete against Home Alone and other holiday tentpoles. Maybe this sequel just needed time to find its audience.
Am I getting warm?
I told you I don't remember.
We'll never know, as Katzenberg was quick to pull all TV advertising, with most families not being aware of its existence. When people reflect on the Disney Renaissance, Rescuers Down Under is often forgotten. But that's not because of the film's quality, it's because Disney doesn't know what to do with it, much like The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
What I give, what I dare, just to live one day out there.
In Hunchback's case, it wasn't a lack of marketing, it was the wrong marketing, with most of the ads playing up the Festival of Fools and tiptoeing around the darker elements that would make Hunchback a cult classic.
You mistreat this poor boy the same way you mistreat my people. You speak of justice, yet you are cruel to those most in need of your help.
Silence!
Justice!
While the Victor Hugo adaptation made money upon release, Disney seems unwilling to embrace the property. We'd love to see a big screen version of the stage musical, but Disney CEO Bob Iger reportedly said in 2023 that a live-action Hunchback remake isn't a top priority.
I knew I'd never know that warm and loving glow though I might wish with all my might.
Keep in mind that Disney is prioritizing remakes of Moana, Lilo and Stitch, and several others. Rescuers Down Under and Hunchback have fallen by the wayside with Fantasia 2000, Atlantis, and Treasure Planet, all three of which failed to ignite the box office.
Lad, that's all right, Jimbo. It's all right.
This convinced Disney that there was no place for 2D animation on the theatrical front, going all in on CGI. With a change of leadership, hand-drawn animation would be given a second chance. Kind of.
Baby Cakes, I'm sure this place is going to be just wonderful. But it's a shame you're working so hard.
But how can I let up now when I'm so close?
The crew behind The Princess and the Frog threw all of their passion into making a film that could rank among the classics. Disney set the film up to underperform though, releasing it a week before Avatar. They could have given The Princess and the Frog more of a head start with a Thanksgiving slot, but instead, Disney reserved that weekend for old dogs.
Y'all ain't got the same shit what's wrong with.
Even more misguided, they released 2011's Winnie the Pooh the same day as the final Harry Potter movie. Before you say Barbenheimer, Potter and Pooh were both marketed to families. This wasn't counter-programming.
Oh, bother. I don't remember thinking that through.
Disney is starting to do right by Princess and the Frog with a Splash Mountain retheming and a Tiana series, although they remain reluctant to revive 2D animated movies. To be fair, it's not like their CG films were lacking, with Tangled, Frozen, and Zootopia all thriving. It seemed Disney could do no wrong until 2020.
Well, we'll just have to do the spell again.
You mean you have to? A person can only do magic if they have the gift.
Not only was the company undergoing a regime change, but the COVID-19 pandemic took a drastic toll on theatrical revenue. Disney experimented by releasing some films through streaming with a premium fee, yet many felt they did Pixar dirty, sending Soul, Luca, and Turning Red to Disney Plus at no additional cost. When a film costs over $100 million, this distribution model doesn't make sense unless you're Netflix. And even then, it's debatable.
You want your money? Then get your butt down here now!
It was announced in 2023 that those 3 Pixar films would receive theatrical runs in the new year. Considering that they've been available on Disney Plus for years, though, this seems too little too late.
Don't worry, they're fine. Can't crush a soul here. That's what life on Earth is for.
Meanwhile, Disney Plus original films that might have found wider audiences over time, such as the one and only Ivan, have been purged from the company's streaming services to cut costs. Granted, nobody wanted to rewatch Artemis Fowl, but it still feels like a waste.
The problem is that you don't respect anyone enough to treat them as an equal.
That's ridiculous. I hold several people in the very highest esteem.
Lightyear was built up as Pixar's cinematic homecoming, although it went on to become a certified bomb. Pete Docter argued that Disney trained audiences to watch their films at home. To an extent, we agree, but Lightyear wasn't the best film to mark the studio's comeback either.
Are we going to crash? No. Well, technically, yes.
Likewise, some blamed the failure of Strange World on streaming and a lack of advertising. While that didn't help, positive word of mouth wasn't there for Strange World, and it hasn't gained a following since.
Wait, are you offended? I can't tell. You know what? I'll just follow you.
Compare it to Encanto, which performed modestly upon opening but became a phenomenon by the time it arrived on Disney+. Encanto still could have made more money at the box office if Disney hadn't pulled it from theaters so quickly. Look at Elemental, which brought in some of Pixar's worst opening numbers to date. Can you blame audiences for not being interested given the advertising? To Disney's credit, they allowed Elemental to grow its viewership, with the film becoming one of the company's few box office success stories that year.
You shine and still show.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Disney could have had another success if they stood by Nimona, but they axed that film along with Blue Sky Studios. Thankfully, Nimona was completed elsewhere, going on to lead the Annie nominations with 9.
I've never even taken a class.
Really? As a surprise.
Not a one. Oh, don't forget your sword, boss.
She can keep it. I don't fight for her anymore.
Conversely, Disney's Wish got 0 Annie nominations, and for the first time in the awards history, no Disney films broke into Best Animated Feature. Where Wish over-relied on what's worked for Disney in the past, Nimona looked to the future.
I'm gonna go break some stuff.
Wait, Nimona, what are you...
It's time to rewrite this story.
With so many of their recent efforts flopping, Disney may be compelled to roll the dice on something bold, different, and rebellious like Nimona. When a potential game-changer comes along, however, they need to give the film a fighting chance.
Oh, this is where we've been, but it's not where we belong. And I may be young, but I know I'm not wrong.
What Disney film do you think deserved better? Let us know in the comments.
Kid, you're this fair's MVP!
That was some show you put on. You're a real special kid.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.